and I'm a customer experience consultant and chief experience officer for a 100-person mortgage company. So Maggie and I see the world through a different lens than most people. Yeah. So we're both very drawn to water. In fact, we got married at a lake, and there's just something special about the water.
We talk about it. We talk about having some water feature at a certain point.
Yeah, we've looked at, like a lot of homeowners, we've looked at things on Costco.com and Lowe's, Home Depot, different products that are. I'm chuckling about this now because to think about putting like a $200, crappy little thing that you get off, from Home Depot or something in your yard compared to what we have now. It's a joke to even think about it that way. But that's, I guess, how we started the process of thinking about having some sort of a water feature in our yard. I was thinking about it the whole way. I was thinking, what is it going to look like when I get home? Because I was watching it being built here and there, before work and after work, and trying to envision what this end product was going to look like. This is going to be neat. I'm excited to see what the end product looks like. And when I drove up that afternoon, when I drove up the driveway and I saw this thing, my eyes got watery. Like it was an emotional unveiling for me. Like it was really just a beautiful water feature. About a week before the project began, Mike, the foreman on the job, we were on the phone, and I remember exactly what he said. He said, "We look forward to blowing you away." And I thought, wow, he's setting expectation really high, and isn't that a dangerous thing to do? But he did exactly that. I mean, I had an emotional reaction when I saw this thing. He really did blow us away with what he created. It is like something you would see in nature. It's such artistry. It's such thoughtful design. There are two waterfalls in this stream. They both have different character to them. And then I've noticed there's like these little mystery waterfalls, I think you guys call them. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so cool, and our kids love it. We have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. The 1-year-old loves throwing rocks in it.
Today when we came home, we opened the door of the van and she came out, and we were right next to the waterfall, and then she's just staring there and doesn't want to get out. And I said, "Well, move, we need to get out of the car." And she said, "But I'm thinking." And she's just staring at the waterfall and thinking, and I thought, that's how I feel. I just feel like, just want to sit next to it and just watch it and relax and feel, you have this feeling like of calm and peace. And
As a DIY homeowner, like 15 years ago, I installed a wooden box around this thing. When I say box, it was just, 4 pieces of wood stood up on their side, pressure treated wood at least, but it was like, 2x6s or something. That just made a box around these trees, and it looked really, really tacky.
For the longest time, you wanted to do something about this.
Yeah, and so, Steve and Mike, they had this vision of putting this natural stone wall around this grouping of trees, and we just couldn't be more pleased with how this turned out. And it's right next to the stream and the waterfalls, so it complements it incredibly well and ties it together, and we don't have anything tacky in the front yard anymore. So the other thing I was really impressed with was just how respectful they were of our entire yard. And it's like when you bring contractors over, like we had an electrician over recently, and he didn't even want to put those little booties on to protect, his shoes from walking on our carpet. The guys at Premier Ponds never asked to come in the house, but they were just so respectful of our property. And I mean, at the end of the project, I wasn't expecting this, but at the end of the project, they pulled out a power washer and power washed the driveway. So the driveway ended up looking better than before the project began. So that was impressive too.
They were respectful of the plants that we had around, and they kind of recycle everything that we already had there. The rocks that we had in one place, they didn't just get rid of them. I was impressed that they collected every single rock and they kind of cleaned them. And they recycle them. We use them in other parts of the yard.
Yeah.
I thought, who wants to go through all of that extra work and do that?
Yeah, I was impressed by that too. So it was a nice surprise when about 6 days after the project was completed, I got a call from Mike, and it was a courtesy follow-up call, and he wanted to know how you're enjoying the feature, and what questions have come up for you, and any concerns you might have. And there were a few things that came to mind when he asked the question, and he put me at ease. He addressed the concerns, the questions that we had 6 days, post completion, and I was impressed with the follow through and the follow up. So, as it turns out, we're both in the world of customer experience. Maggie is a global accounting director for a mystery shopping company. These are folks that do customer service evaluations, and I'm a customer experience consultant and chief experience officer for a 100-person mortgage company. So Maggie and I see the world through a different lens than most people. While a lot of people might just feel good about a project that Premier Ponds did for them and not be able to articulate why that was on a conscious level, they probably just feel good about having worked with Premier Ponds. Maggie and I look at all the details of the thoughtful things that went into the overall job itself, but also the way that they interacted with us, the way that they were respectful of our yard, the way that they were patient with our questions. And we look at that stuff like, we wish most companies operated this way, especially contractors. It's so hard to find a contractor who's going to, first of all, work with just basic integrity, showing up when they say they're going to show up, start the job when they say they're going to start the job, complete the job when they say they're going to complete the job.
And meet the expectations. And
meet the expectations, and in this case, exceed expectations. This is so out of character for the world of contracting, because there's such a well-rounded approach, or I should say, Premier Ponds is incredibly well-rounded because they have the artistry, they have the professionalism, they build a quality product, and they're able to do it on time and within the time promised, and in a courteous way, in a friendly way, in a patient way, in a professional way. They're the total package. Where else do you find something like that? Where else do you find a company like that? It's very difficult to find.
Just do it.
For somebody who's considering, and it's funny, I've been showing pictures and video to some friends and coworkers, and now they've become interested. I mean, when you share the excitement of what it is to own something like this, other people who've either considered it or never considered it all of a sudden become interested. And if somebody had said to us when we were kind of on the fence, if somebody would have said, if you do this, you're never going to regret it. You're only going to be grateful and thankful that you made the move. It's a rare thing because not everybody has something like this. So it feels special. We want to invite people over. We want to show it off to our friends and family. We have a party every September, so we're looking forward to having our friends and family come and check it out. We've already posted pictures and video on Facebook, and we're excited to share it that way as well. But for anybody who's considering something like this, the bottom line is you'll be happy you did it. I can't imagine there's anybody in the world that installs some sort of a water feature in their yard and regrets having done it. Everybody is glad that they did it, I'm sure.
And I drive home from work every day, and I pass near a creek, and I used to think, it would be nice to live near water, it would be nice to live near the creek. But now I feel like the creek came to me. Like when I come outside, I'm like, I have a creek right in my backyard. Front yard.
Maybe we need one. Maybe we need one in the back.
We need one in the back too. Yeah. That's what I wanted. I wanted it in the back.